Okay, the thing that a lot of people have asked me to comment on, and I was actually going to comment on this even if nobody sent in like messages, because yeah, I'd already been told about it by moderators and by my Bilibili translation team. I did hear that somebody took some of my words out of context and put them in an interesting translation on Bilibili and tried to twist my words. Instead of being like reminiscing about something that was kind of silly, they tried to turn it into a hate comment against other people. So what I will say is, I mean, this is the thing. I'm not going to name and shame people, but what I will say is do not do that. I have been very against that shit since day one. Day one, like back when I first debuted in Nijisanji, people used to do that a lot and take my words and twist them into aggressive and anti things against other people to try and make me look worse, because we got a lot of hate when I was doing the whole Legatus roleplay thing and attacking other livers. But behind the scenes, I'd always talked to other livers and said straight up that yes, we're friends, we're fine, but yeah, to the public I was showing up as Legatus and like having fights with Voxy and telling Ike that he was weak and like all these other things. So I get why some people, but yeah, they would start to essentially take clips from me and like mistranslate them or decide that they knew what I meant when I said certain things and just make meanings out of them that I did not say. So yesterday I was talking about the fact that, and maybe it's my fault for bringing this up on stream, so I'm sorry, but when like way back ages ago, I think it was only like 2 to 3 months after my debut, Petra did a stream where she was explaining to the JP senpai Norineko the different members of Nijisanji EN, and I mentioned the fact that when she was going through the characters, she like got to Uki before me and talked about Uki quite a bit, and then got to me and then just basically said I was Uki's boyfriend and I was the other half of Cyborg. She didn't say too much else after that. That was not me attacking Petra. That was not me saying, oh, Petra like made me look stupid in front of people. That was just me saying like that happened. Obviously, I'm not angry at Petra for that. Like, if I was actually angry about that, I would have been talking to Petra about that and I wouldn't have brought it up on stream. If I'm ever angry about something, you're not going to hear me talk about it on stream unless it's got nothing to do with another liver, because I'll talk to a liver about it off stream and we'll deal with it. I will message them individually and we'll find a way to come to a conclusion, because this is a job. We work with each other. So yeah. I have no beef with anybody in Nijisanji EN behind the scenes, and I do not want people... So again, I do like apologize if it seems like I was trying to say, oh, I'm angry at that person or I'm angry at anybody else. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt for now that maybe they misconstrued my words, so I'm apologizing from my side. I am sorry that that got taken that way, and I am sorry that somebody translated that way, but do not do that. If you want to make translated clips of me, that's absolutely fine, but just give the meaning that I said. Don't try to apply your own meaning or take any other meaning from it. What else to say about that? God, how the word? I'm not going to name and shame the person simply because I'm hoping that they'll understand why I'm saying this, and they will understand why I'm saying this, and hopefully grow from this and realize that that wasn't something that they should have been doing. And I'm also not saying, oh, everybody go attack that person, or I hope that person apologizes. They can choose to deal with that however they want. But yes, it hurt me that somebody did that. But at the same time, 100%, do not take it anywhere from here. Do not engage. Do not try to escalate things. This is where I want to leave this, and I want to just let it be known. Do not try to infer things from my words that I haven't said, because you never know what's going on in somebody else's mind. And if you try to infer things and you give like a wrong explanation, it can cause problems, and it can hurt other people, and it can hurt the person who said things. Other than that, I want to make it very clear. Right, let me see my channel rules, because let me make sure it's still worded the same way that I remember. Oh god, why did it all become one block of text? What the fuck? It used to be like separated properly from top to bottom one by... okay. No more spam. Not sensitive to donations. Donations, do not call me husband. During streams, get the chat focused. I guess I don't have a rule for it. I thought I used to. But I guess it starts with don't mention if there's an Easter egg, blah blah blah. Okay, so I don't have an active rule about it, but I know I used to talk about it. People used to ask me quite a bit when I first started, because I mean, it's nice to ask people their preferences. People used to ask me quite a bit, like, are you fine with being shipped with anyone? And I mean, my first rule, the rule that isn't even numbered on my channel, is just straight up, Fulgur Ovid is a fictional character. He's not here to become your parasocial friend or influence your worldview. Treat me as a form of entertainment and nothing more. If you can't do that, don't bother showing up. And one of the things that I used to link that to was the fact that if you wish to ship me with any other liver, you absolutely can, unless the other liver does not find it comfortable. And do not ship me with real life people. With other livers, I think it's fine as long as they say it's fine as well. Because I have a separation between like me and the character. So feel free to draw any art of me in any kind of ship. Feel free to write any kind of fan fiction. There are all kinds of people that make all kinds of fan fiction and fan art where it's like, oh, here's Fulgur Ovid's like being torn limb from limb and murdered. And I'm like, oh, that's good angst. I'm not like, oh, this person hates me, or oh, this is disgusting. There are lots of people that like write like lots of porn that have fetishes that I'm not comfortable with. And it's just like, if I read that, I'm like, oh, this ain't for me. I'm glad that they enjoy it and they can share it with whoever they want. Fuchan X Chunwoo, I'm so down for that. I call him Sky Daddy. But yeah, just in general, if I had a problem with being shipped with anyone, I would say so. If I had a problem with anyone else in Nijisanji EN, I would say so. If I also choose which art that I get to share. Like, I choose if I want to like art, I choose if I want to retweet art. And yeah, I try to keep a balance where I don't retweet any like ship art. So even a lot of people that like make the ship art specifically don't use like hashtag archivist or hashtag legatus, because they don't want it to interfere with people that are just fans with me. So they'll like use the ship name and they'll just use that hashtag, which is very nice and very respectful, because I know there are some people that get like very serious about ships. I'm not serious about ships. As long as people are having fun, it's all fiction. As long as they consider it fiction, then that's fine. However, this is one of those cases, one of those scenarios where somebody has taken something too seriously and they've used it to create a problem. They've used it to hurt other people. So do not do that. We are all livers. We are all adults. We are all dealing with our own things. And yeah, on Twitter, I make sure that I don't like anything. Sometimes I like some sexual stuff of myself. Sometimes if it's just like cute fluff, I'll retweet things, but I try not to share like sexual ship art, and I try not to share like ship art that seems too romantic sometimes too, because I just know some people get uncomfortable with it. And even then, sometimes if I really, really like a piece of art, I will share it even if it is ship art. Sometimes if it has like just the ship art hashtag and not my hashtag, I'll still be like, oh, but that's beautiful. I'd like to retweet it. I'd like more people to see it. That is my prerogative. And if you don't like what I do on Twitter, you can just not follow me on Twitter. But that is my rule. I am fine with being shipped with anyone. I am fine. Like, my relationships with all the livers in Nijisanji EN are all good. Do not try to read into things. Do not try to start fights over ships, because they're all fictional. So please don't ever do that. And like I said, I don't want to escalate it, so I'm not going to name anybody. And I hope that from here on we can move forward, and I hope that everybody will just be able to take a step back. So while I am saying that I didn't want things to happen, like, I also realized that I don't, because it's on Bilibili and it's a Chinese translation, so I don't even know 100% what was said and what was misconstrued. But this is my opinion. Anyone can ship me with whoever the fuck they want, and I don't care. As long as they are not abusive towards me, and as long as while they're in chat, they follow my rules, which are, if I don't bring up another liver, don't bring them up first. That's my rule. And a lot of people get bonked when they do bring up other livers first, or they try to make a conversation about another liver, because they're just using me. Like, they just want to show up and be like, hey, this is my ship. Oh, where's this person? Where's that person? Like, they do get bonked. So I deal with that on my chat. I deal with that on my live streams. And I'm fine with dealing that on my own end. Nobody has to fight for me, and I don't need to be fought for and don't want to be fought for in any way. So yeah, just respect my rules. Respect other people. Other people are all enjoying things in their own way as well. And nobody has the right to say, oh, you like it feels the same way to me when it comes to like the Dan Mei things, because I've been in the Dan Mei community for a long time. I've also been in the BL community for a long time. So just in general, like I like if the main ships are always like the ones that pretty much everyone can agree on. Like everyone will be like, yeah, Wei Wu Shen and Lan Wangji, they're so awesome together. And then I'm going to use the example of like Shui Yang, who's a very dark and angsty, aggressive character. He gets shipped with a couple of other characters, and a lot of people hate. Sorry, I choked on my own spit there. A lot of people hate that. A lot of people hate some of the people he gets shipped with. A lot of people hate it. I find him very sexy. He's a well, he's a very... He had a horrible childhood too, and I also think he's a bit of a... Sorry, this is not the point. I have very complicated feelings for Shui Yang, but I find him sexy, and I'm fine with seeing other people ship him with whoever the fuck else they want to. Sometimes there are just pure crack ships as well, where it's like two characters who would never properly meet each other, or two characters that would never like spend any time with together, and I'm still like, oh, that's a kind of cool piece of art. And then there are some things where I'm like, oh, I don't like seeing these two together, but at the same time, it's fictional. I'm not going to yuck anyone else's yum. So please do not ever try to yuck anyone else's yum in this community. I don't want that in my community. I am a fictional character, Fulgur Ovid. I'm a fucking cyborg from the future. Ship me with whoever you want. Make fan fiction, make fan art. If you don't want to see it, that's why we have the separation. That's why we have the separation of people using ship tags. You can just mute the ship. You can block people that specifically go after those ships. Just, yeah, don't attack other people for things. Don't try to get aggressive towards other people of things. But at the same time, on the opposite direction, do not try to attack other people who do that. Just block them and move on. Just get them out of your life. That's the more important thing than anything else. If you find that somebody ships something you don't like, just move away from it. Don't interact. If you find that somebody is trying to start ship wars, just block them, just mute them, just move on. That's also how I try to react to things when it comes to like spam and harassment in other cases as well. It's like, just don't deal with it. As soon as you deal with it, you're causing more problems, you're escalating things, and it can cause more drama. I'm sorry that was so long-winded. Like, I got warned about this scenario in the morning, and that I was going to talk about it, but I wasn't able to prepare like a steadfast, like, here's my opinion, ... So I'm sorry that this was like rambling for 10 minutes, but yeah, just don't yuck other people's yum. Do not attack other people in the community, no matter what, whether it's ship wars, whether it's like, oh, I think Fulgur Ovid is like, his Legatus 505 should be this way, or like the Shepherd story should be this way. It's all fictional. Shipping me with other people is all fictional as well. Just like, if you don't like it, don't interact with it. And I know there are like also some people who probably don't like how I do things on Twitter as well, where I do like, I try not to share too much ship art, and I know there are some people that get annoyed in that direction as well, because I do occasionally share some ship art from some ships, and I try to keep it balanced as well. It's just like I said, it just depends on how the art looks. I don't like things that, one, look too sexual, or two, look too heavily romantic, but things that are implied, things that are cute, I'm just like, oh, that's adorable. So yeah, and I do get some people in the opposite side that are like, oh, why doesn't he share this art from this ship? Does he hate this ship? No. Even if I didn't like a ship, I would just mute the tag and then I wouldn't see the art anymore. It's that simple. So I would, yeah, that's what I would ask from my community as well. And just say that if people still try to cause drama over things like that, I just don't want that around me. Just leave it alone. Just back away. Do not interact. Move on. And that will hopefully make you happier. Will hopefully make it so that you don't have to see that, and you can just move on and continue to enjoy the things that you enjoy without hopefully getting frustrated by the things that you don't like. So yeah. Man, I love apples, so you hate oranges. Pretty much. The same kind of thing of like, oh, he like retreats a lot of fan art from this person. He must specifically like this person and not like other people. It's like, no, it's just, again, sometimes you see things, sometimes you don't see things. The Twitter algorithm is also messed up sometimes as well, and I try to find some balance. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Like I said, I'm sorry it's so rambly and long-winded. I wish I had more time to like prepare a proper statement and like make it direct so people could just clip it and hear my opinions on things. But yes, that's my opinion. Don't attack other people. Don't start drama for other people. If I don't like something, I will talk about it with the liver. If I don't like something, whether it comes to like my contract, my job, my interactions with other livers, my interactions with people in my community, I'm a big boy. I can deal with things myself. If you try to put words in my mouth or you try to use other things to hurt me, don't do that. Because I've had that done to me so many times as well. I've had so many people misconstrue things that I say and use it to spawn hate campaigns against me. And also, I've seen so many times that people like take things that other people say and try to use them against me or try to make it out that there are problems elsewhere. So please just do not do that in the future. And yeah, not escalating, not naming or shaming anyone, just do not interact, just leave it. If they continue to do it, then yeah, things will go from there and I will find a way to deal with it on my own side. So sometimes even clips can be taken as out of context. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, moving on from that topic now to something more lighthearted. To everybody who was worried, that the last clip that the official channel did, the Lethal Company one, that I'd be uncomfortable with that being put up because I was like falling down a cliff and dying. No, I found that clip very funny. I just wish they'd extended the bit so we could watch Albin die as well. Like I saw so many people yesterday be like, oh, the official account clipped Fuchan again and it's him like screaming and dying. That's better than me meowing or barking. That shit was fucking hilarious. But yeah, like I said, I just wish they'd extended it a bit because you can kind of see that Albin starts to fall, but I wish then they'd switch to like Uki's POV or Sunny's POV and just watched Albin fall down with me as well. Especially since I think I did a really good like fake drowning sound effect. But I get they have to keep it like under a certain amount of length, but it was funny. Anyway, sorry for having to bring up drama on the channel. I don't like to, but obviously when things happen in the community that are bad and detrimental for the community, it has to like be talked about so that we can move forward. So I hope that, yeah, I hope that everything from here on out goes okay. And if it doesn't, then I'll deal with it then. But just try not to escalate it and do not try to bring it up in the future. Do it. Okay. Uki had you all on mute. Yeah, I didn't even know he had me on mute. Maybe that's why they didn't have his point of view. Maybe it's because you wouldn't have heard me doing the okay as I drowned and then started gargle. But yeah, it would have been nice to see Albin die in that clip too, because you just see him start to fall and you don't really know that he comes down and drowns with me. And then me and Albin were just laughing at it in death mode as well and being like, we're so stupid. But yeah, sorry to bring up drama right at the end of the stream. But yes, just don't fight with people. We have to talk about the things like this when they happen to make it clear that no, we don't support it. But at the same time, try not to escalate it from here. If other people try to escalate it, it's just going to be more painful from here on out. So I hope we can just move past this, is what I'm saying. And hopefully people won't take that as like me taking a side, because I'm not taking any side. I just want it to be done. I just want people to understand that my rules in the community are my rules. My rules on my channel are my rules. And like, I tend to be very much freeform with everything else, like outside of here. Like, my rules on my channel are for during the channel. Outside of here, pretty much freeform. But just, yeah, I just want to say I do not support that, but I also will not support if people try to escalate it from here and take it in a different direction. Okay. I hope I did my best. I'm always scared about doing, like, everybody is always scared about doing things like this, because it's like you have to make confirmations, but at the same time you don't want people to think you're pushing back in the opposite direction either. I've seen it and I hope it'll go better from here, essentially. Okay.